Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Shadowrun Dragonfall. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're supposed to join me today. There's some basilisks over there, but we have a new friend. Yes, we do have a new friend. That's our target. Hopefully this will pay off. I don't know that it will, but I think we might have murdered all the things that we had to murder on our little expedition, on our little cleaning up. Or actually, how is the... Oh. Right. How's the name of the mission? Tying up loose ends, I think? Ensad slows to a stop at the window. His eyes are locked on the stack of corpses piled up on the cell floor. My old team. Sorry, sons of bitches. But they never thought I'd be the last man standing. Why not? I'm usually right in the thick of the action. Easy to get shot under those circumstances. If I hadn't been downstairs when K.E. smashed in, I'd be in the pile with them. My condolences. He lets out a low chuckle. No loss, believe me. I hated those bricks. A deep rumbling sound emanates from the rigger's chest. He spits, and an enormous wad of phlegm spatters against the upturned face of the nearest corpse. Charming, says Glory. He shrugs. If you knew him, you'd do the same. Miserable bastards, the lot of them. No appreciation for creativity. Anyway, we should probably get moving, don't you think? I don't want to be here when more of those knight-errant bastards show up. Yeah, hopefully they won't show up again, because I locked the door, and I don't remember if this is the way out. I think this is not the way. Yeah, it is not. Our objective now is to exit the building. And maybe now is where the security cameras would have come in handy. For them, not for me, though. There's a lot of murder. Nah, we're definitely... yeah, definitely. As you hurry past the scene of... Oh, no. Maybe you were not being ambushed after all. As you hurry past the scene of carnage in the operating theater, a peculiar smile crosses the rigger's face. He slows to a stop and then points at the dismembered body on the other side of the glass. See something funny? Oh, no, nothing much. His smile broadens, and a stream of giggles comes pouring out of him. Nah, it's pretty horrible stuff, man. Why don't I believe you? Well, I don't know. Why don't you tell me? He looks at you dead in the eye, his expression neutral. And then that sickly grin returns, and he starts to giggle again. Okay, you caught me. Red-faced, he wipes a tear from the corner of his eye. This was one of mine. Couldn't tell you how excited I was to see this stuff. Such incredible toys. It was way too good an opportunity to pass up. That doesn't look like an knight-errant employee. Looks more like a lab tech to me. He nods enthusiastically. This was a fun one. Little prick couldn't believe it when I set the autosurgeon on him. He kept trying to get away, but wherever he went, one of my arms was there. Rip, rip. And all the while, it was screaming like a little girl. He must have kept it for, 10, 15 minutes? He barks out a snorting laugh. It was hilarious, man, I tell you. Glory gives you a significant glance. You can see the disgust in her eyes. I'll point out other stuff when we see it. There was this one guy that I locked in a room with a manipulator arm. He wipes a tear from the corner of his eye. It was fucking classic. To hell with this, with a trinket, says Blitz. Letting this bastard go would be wrong, Chief. You know that. Besides which, he lied to us. There was no bad intel. This bastard is the reason why things went south with that run. I'm sure of it. Abruptly, Enstad's laughter stops. The fuck is he talking about? We have a deal. If you don't want to kill him, that's fine. Blitz looks you in the eye. Let me do it. I'll help. It's what we should have done in the first place. At that moment, the door behind you slides open. A trio of figures makes their way into the room. The leader of the group is an elf with Asian features. Is obviously a vat job. The bands of corded muscle that bulge under or out under his sleeves have a distinctly store-bought look to them. When he speaks, his voice comes out in a gravelly rumble. My, the intrepid Edie, with his target in tow. What a surprise. Back off. Way off. You don't intimidate us, Edie. Even if you manage to kill us, a doubtful proposition at best, you'd destroy your own reputation in the process. Let me guess. Our client sent you, Iger said. He nods. Harefuck sent us to check up on you. Given his recent troubles with Shadowrunners, this should not come as a surprise. The company man smiles at Enstad. The rigger shrinks back against the wall. No more than your betrayal surprises me. No, No, I'm killing you. I am absolutely killing you. Don't you... yeah, I'm gonna kill you. Well, let's see. What happens now, I ask? Because I wanna kill him. I wanna kill him, but I'm not sure... Because this doesn't feel right. Although there might be other things that my character would know and I wouldn't in regards to... there might be other consequences. Anyway, you will relinquish Enstad to us. We will dispatch him quickly and cleanly, as you were meant to. Nah, I was just finishing a job. I'm not one for interrupt mid-sentence. I'm not a big fan of that. So let's just kill him. Oh, wait. What? Oh. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. There we go. The company man inspects the rigger's corpse, a dispassionate expression on his face. He shifts his gaze back up to you. It would appear that you might possess some small shred of integrity after all. I told you, I honor my deals. I said integrity, not honor. Yeah, but... I remain convinced that you are thoroughly dishonorable, Shadowrunner. A man of honor would never have allowed his target to live as long as you did. Whatever your it's the integrity. A man of integrity would never have allowed... He mixes the two up. He definitely mixes the two up. Because, you know, it was specifically I was talking last episode about specifically the you know, not commingling, what's the word? Sort of like, you know, standing up with other Shadowrunners. That's what, it was a matter of integrity, not honor. Anyway, as long as you did whatever your motives might have been, honor was not among them. No matter, the letter of your contract has been fulfilled. Your job here is done. I will inform Harefuck of the mission's completion and of the circumstances surrounding it. Goodbye. Well, that was that. I wonder what other... I mean, I could have just killed them, right? I would have killed them, but I wanted to kill them all more than necessarily just. Oh well, that worked out. That worked out, I think. So, this is the exit. Confirm? Yes. Your trip back to the Cruise Bazaar is an unsettling one. Every time you close your eyes, horrible visions flash through your mind. Bodies torn apart by surgical machines. Mouths frozen open in never-ending screams. Walls coated floor to ceiling in congealing blood. And through it all, the smiling face of Thorvald Enstad. You blink, banish the visions. They're behind you now. You're on your way home. I need to click down there. There's no button on the keyboard that skips that. And I think I just heard the sound of the sound of something. Your PDA rings, and the face of your fixer, Paul Amsel, appears on the screen. I have uncovered some terrible information. The team is assembled in the safe house. Please meet with us there when you are able. Yes, I will. But first, of course, the typical... The Edie Civic Center is now named over there. The typical round... the rounds of talking to everybody. Welcome back, my friend. Your donations have been extremely helpful. Thanks to your assistance, many of the Cruise Bazaar's poorest residents will be able to ride out the winter in comfort. What can I do for you today? How is Alexander doing? That is the same as before. Are you accepting donations? And he says that. Okay. Thank you very much. I will see you later. Because no new conversations can be had over there. I don't think I got any new info that I can sell, but I'll check up there nonetheless. Actually, it's easy to tell. There's no quest marker, so there's no reason to go up there. But there is a reason to come down here to talk to Lucky Strike. Hey. Hey, I don't mean to be rude. Aw. I wonder if that is it in regards to her dialogue. I was sort of expecting to not find her one of these days, because, you know, is she gonna spend the whole game just drinking there. I mean, I assume that every time I go on a run, she goes on a run of her own or something. Oh, no, didn't she say that she was just taking some time off from the team? Welcome back. What can I do for you, my friend? Apparently you can't. I mean, you can, but it's just I don't want to. Because I've been focusing on using my companion's equipment rather than my own, so I don't... Yeah, basically later in the game I will buy more things. We got Flash over here. And that's the same as usual. I was just looking at his words. See if there was anything new. And there was not. U-Bahn platform. Then we have... I forget his name again, even though I just saw it. Yeah. Gunari, obviously. Or however it's pronounced. We have our friend Dancer. Oh, I thought the Dancer was going to have something new. Nope. She does not. Toss some money in there. Yeah, I thought we... for a moment there, I thought we were supposed to talk to her rather than with her bag. But we talk with her bag all the while, and she never says anything. Well, it's a sunk cost fallacy here. I'm just gonna keep with it every time I have the chance and see if that matters at the end of the game, because that, you know, doing it half-assed doesn't cut it. As you approach the counter, you find Absinthe reading a small soy calf-stained booklet. The pages are old and weathered. Itty, when you speak with the men who are not men, the fleshy puppets imprisoned behind glass, you must remember that they dream. They may not be real people by your definition of the team or the term, but they do have dreams. That alone makes them worth saving. The men who are not men. Fleshy puppets imprisoned behind glass. If you didn't have the word fleshy, I would think she's talking about computers. But I don't know that she does. That she is. Algernon. Hello again. May I help you? Yes. Questions? Ooh, yeah. Somebody told me in the comments that Algernon had a more his own take on the adversary. If you forgot who the adversary is, that is the magic god sort of... I say the summoner patron or whatever that Glory learned her magic under, and of course she told us all about that story. What can you tell me about the adversary? He raises an eyebrow. The shamanic idol, you mean? An unusual request. What do you wish to know? Yeah, well, it's my teammate, Glory. She spent her youth as a member of an adversary cult. It was kind of a bad scene. Oh, interesting. He stands idle for a moment, considering. First, tell me what you already know. I will then do my best to fill in the gaps. Well, I was told that it's an embodiment of evil. Although I had my own take on that. And saying that sounds a little bit... Because when you say it's an embodiment of evil, it's necessarily... I think I explained it a little bit better than I can at the time. Anyway, I see. Very well, young orc. I will tell you what I know. The adversary is the totemic embodiment of rebellion. It is an anarchist and a usurper, a betrayer and a symbol of defiance. It is a proud idol, utterly sure of itself and its mission. The majority of its followers are arrogant and cruel, not the most pleasant of people, truth be told. That said, the adversary can be interpreted in different ways, just as an idol or totem can. He offers you a half shrug. Some of its followers are worse than others. But they're all bad, right? Not necessarily. After all, rebellion can be a positive force if it is harnessed by the oppressed. It's sort of... I understand the need to write this line like this. Rebellion can be a positive force if it is harnessed by the oppressed. It's just... yeah, sure, it is true. But I'm... It sort of tells you a little bit... I don't know what mindset... How should I put this? Like, rebellion. What is... Like... maybe I'm what's the word? Not telling too much about myself. because, you know, I can tell whatever I want about myself. But the thing is, maybe I'm showing my bias here. But I would say that rebellion is a good thing by default. But not, no, obviously not forever, or not in every instance, obviously. So I think it would be more, not necessarily productive, but it would be more appropriate to say that rebellion can be a negative force if it is used against the oppressed. And historically speaking, that is how it is. It's the exception to the norm. Whenever rebellion happens, it is usually the also because the term itself is related to the punching up rather than the punching down. But whenever the majority of cases of rebellion throughout history is about the oppressed punching up rather than the oppressors punching down. Although that also happens, obviously, or, you know, so I'm oversimplifying here. It's an either or. But anyway, the point is, rebellion is. You think that rebellion is a good thing, right? No, you know what I mean? Just like both from an historical perspective and as a principle. And the other thing to add to that as well is that we're living in the flux state, which is an anarchist state. And I think required a rebellion. I'm not 100% sure. I think we might have learned a little bit about that before in the Let's Play, but I forget. But you know, those are two things that put together really make it weird that our Algernon over here is saying that it can be a positive force, as if he's talking about murder. Like, murder can be a positive force if harnessed against the awful people. You know, he's not talking about murder. He's talking about rebellion, which is, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about here, what I'm trying to say? Anyway, he says, if I wanted to topple an authoritarian regime, I could think of worse allies to have at my side. But he's talking about the followers of the adversary. That said, trusting the adversary would be a mistake. It is a treacherous idol, and all of its alliances are temporary. This muddying of the water's a little too much for my tastes. No, it is your waters are so, no, it's the other way around. Your waters were as muddy as it could get, because you were just like seeing it as an embodiment of evil. It's like it's the you know, and of course I'm not, all my commentary here has zero grounding on religion, zero grounding on magical thought, on real life magical thought. So all of this is I'm just reading the text of the game. I'm not drawing any conclusions on the real life counterparts of what the adversary is. So you know, don't take me for an anti-Satanist or a Satanist or a Christian or whatever. I'm not talking about religion here. I'm talking about what the game is proposing here. And I'm reading into the text of what the game is saying rather than anything else. I was happier when I thought about the adversary was the devil. I'll go with this line. It's interesting. It's also the longer line, so I think it might be a good line. This is muddying the waters a little too much for my tastes. I was happier when I thought that the adversary was the devil. And Algernon shrugs his broad shoulders. We live in a complicated world. The Christian tradition that much of Germany adheres to argues that the adversary is Lucifer, yes, but many other traditions would disagree. Personally, I feel that calling the adversary a devil is an oversimplification of the truth. It is both more and less than Christian doctrine would have you believe. But this is a question for the philosophers. Is it? I thought maybe it's for the theologers, I think it's how it's pronounced. And now, young orc, I have a question for you. No, not a question, a request. I would like you to tell me about your friend's dealings with the adversary, and I would like you to be thorough. I am pretty sure Algernon is not a bad guy. He's basically a developer insert, although not a writer insert, but maybe he is a bad guy. It's a long story. He smiles. As luck would have it, I have nothing but time. Well, and I have nothing but square brackets thingy to tell him glory story. All right, then strap in. Maybe he's going to be able to help. Hopefully he will. After hearing your story, the talismonger leans back in silent contemplation. Well, considering your friend's upbringing, it's no surprise that she views the adversary as a devil figure. Right? That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. She's like, you know, snapping back. Or not snapping back, but like, you know, she's like, it's like a counter. There's probably a word for it. Overcompensating. That's the one. She's interpreting her experiences through the lens that she was given. That makes sense. The elf pauses, stroking his beard in quiet contemplation. The silence stretches for several seconds before he continues. I find this Harrow figure, the leader of your friend's old commune, to be deeply troubling. Yes, absolutely. He is clearly a toxic shaman, working in the service of his own warped view of the adversary. What do you mean by toxic shaman? I'm unfamiliar with the term. That's an interesting question that I want to ask. I didn't realize that he was specifying that he's a toxic shaman rather than him being a toxic person who is also a shaman, you know what I mean? Because toxic, you know, can be used to denote somebody who's infectiously bad. The infectiously bad is a good translation for what toxic is supposed to mean. Especially when, particularly when applied to in a figurative sense rather than a toxicological sense. You say that he serves his own view of the adversary. Don't idols care what their followers do in their names? Well, actually, I'm not going to choose that. But because I want to ask the second question. But this one has I can tell what or I can imagine, I can guess what the answer is going to be there. The adversary doesn't care because, you know, it sounds like, yeah, that's what he's all about a little bit. He doesn't care about what people think about him, including his followers. So, yeah, what do you mean by toxic? In the magic community, a shaman is referred to as toxic when he twists his idol's principles in order to cause harm. Some toxic shamans are eco-terrorists, protecting nature with deadly force. Others are essentially rabid, slavering things that hunt and kill with wild abandon. I don't believe that Harrow fits into either category. He's just a pervert and a rapist. From what you have described, he genuinely venerates the adversary, or at least his own view of what the adversary should be, and he has been rewarded with power for that devotion. He will make a formidable enemy should you choose to face him. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Can I do that? That would be fantastic. And now I can ask about the other question about don't they care. To an extent, yes, the adversary wouldn't abide one of its followers attempting to bolster the strength of an authoritative figure, for example. But idols and totems can exhibit a broad range of behaviors, and men such as Harrow hide in the extreme ends of that range. Technically, his interpretation of the adversary is the adversary, but only the worst aspects of it. Yeah, I agree with your assessment. Harrow sounds like bad news. Bad news, yes. That's one way of putting it. Such men have been responsible for many terrible things in the Wakened world, and they are not to be confronted lightly. I'll be careful. I trust that you will. He inclines his head in a low nod. Best of luck to you and your friend both. So maybe that unlocks the next stage of Glory's quest. Wouldn't that be nice? But it's clear that we are going to face the adversary. Or, sorry, not that would be cool as well. Well, through Harrow, we're going to face the adversary. Hey there, how have you been? She grins at you, all spark and mischief, Cammy does. Not so good. Oh, nah, listen, I've got to do something right now, but call me later and we'll chat over coffee, okay? Be well, she says, without a period at the end. What the heck was that? Things are all right, I can say. Good. I hope they stay that way. Let me know if they don't. If they don't, though. All right. I'm always up to help. For now, gotta help all two more, though. See you later, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to pronounce yeah properly. Is it ya? Do you go for the R sound? You know, R. It's different from ah. Either way, it's close enough. Could be worse. Then she says, "Can't it always?" Yeah. Nah. Yeah. I'm not sure. Sometimes it can't. Sometimes there's a theoretical worst state of being, and I don't want to be in anywhere close to it. But Altug doesn't have anything for me. That is our main quest provider, Mila. I don't remember her name. I even named an episode after her, but whatever. I could have hovered over to her. Welcome back. What can I do for you? Nothing. She has a bunch of things. She also has action point. Look at that. 3,500 is the price of a Fuki Virtua X. And I think we have that. If we don't have that one, and when I say we, I mean our companion. If we don't have that one, we have a similar one with 3 action points. Can I level up? Well, it's easy to tell now. That looks like a Virtua X. No, it's a Fairlight Excalibur deck. Replacing his old Virtua decks. Or Virtua X. Fantastic. So we even have something better than the 3,500 there. That's good. I mean, admittedly, the game is balanced for us to be able to buy things mostly for ourselves rather than our companions, but we can buy things for our companions. Everybody's over here. Dante. Hello. Woof. And nobody's back here. Okay, let's check our computer. Before we proceed with our things, we can check our inbox. One last DVD. Okay. The screen flickers to life, and Mallet's face appears. She wears a plastic smile. Hi again, Edie. Well, I've recovered one last DVD for you, but I'm afraid that's all you're gonna get. You might as well use the rest as coasters. They're all beyond repair. If you look on the table beside your DVD player, you'll find a disc that I salvaged. She pauses. A slight frown crosses her face. To be completely honest, that was a lie. To recover this last disc, I was forced to subcontract. Scrotty is still a brute of a man. I am unimpressed with his manner, and his poor hygiene disgusts me, but he is very good with old things such as this. All credit where it's due. The message ends, and the image fades. You find yourself back at your inbox. I didn't have to pay for that. I suppose that's good, but hopefully she didn't have to pay. Let's see. Open job directory. We can claim payment for the pharma cleanup job. Let's do that. You submit your job as finished and await your client's response. A few moments later, a message pops onto the screen from Herr Fuchs. No sense in mincing words. Your job performance was satisfactory at best. No, that was good. Thank you. It was both satisfactory and best. So that's how I choose to see that. Your fee will be transferred immediately. Enjoy it while it lasts, because you'll never work for us again. Fucks. And we get 2,500, I think. Yeah, it's fair enough. I wonder if I want to work for them again. Like, from a gameplay perspective, it feels a little bit draconian to cut me out of missions based on my choice. Or maybe, no, it's not really the cutting me out of missions that is a problem. I wonder if there is a different mission, since I don't work for them, is what I mean to say. And also, and this is from a gameplay perspective. You kind of want to, play the game. Although these games are they're relatively well made for replayability. It's not really the focus of the game, but it's there. It's meant, by default, a game with classes and items and skill progressions and all that sort of stuff is just well suited for replayability, because you can experiment with different builds. But it's not really where the game focuses. It's not like one of those RPGs that is not gonna shy away from giving you a 5-hour quest line or main quest line because you said something different at the beginning, whereas you could have had a 25-hour quest line if you did something else. Although 25 hours, that's the thing is, when games get a little bit longer, they just become a little bit less well suited for replayability. Is my take on it. So I wonder if we were ever gonna work for them again, and it's just a matter of flavor text. Because there's really, apart from that, there's really very little of consequence. So we have pending jobs for sure. It is the main one, I think, the sabotage run. I think it is. And we have the funds. We have Shadowrun BBS. Post-pay data for sale, but oh, yeah, I can do that. There we go. And that was the only... Oh, that's right. That's the thing that we got in the Matrix. And we're going to search for relevant keywords over here. There's a few of them. Let's search for those in the next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Shadowrun Dragonfall. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.